What's up, y'all? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to school. Welcome to class. Hopefully, we can get y'all to learn something today. Snug, you said, have I ever heard of Dr. Sabi? Of course. Of course I have. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Well, you know what? I kind of want to get started because I want to watch the Lakers game in a little bit. So let me go ahead and get started with this. If anybody, you can watch it on the playback. You know what I mean? And hopefully you guys learned something from this video. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for everybody who's showing up late. And let's get started, okay? Hey, I'll answer all your questions at the end too. All right, I'll answer all the questions. So leave them in the chat and I'll get to them as soon as I'm finished. All right, so today's question is how to work out when you don't have time. All right, now I know a lot of us go through things in our lives where we just don't have time to maybe work out the way you want to, or you may think that, other people are more capable of getting in shape faster or more equipped to get in shape because they have the time and you simply don't have the time because of your lifestyle. And so we're going to discuss a couple of things because I've been on both sides. I've been, busy. I've been available to go to the gym, and I know pretty much what it takes in order to maintain or to grow based on, not having the time a day anyway, or having the time to actually do it. Because sometimes when you have the time, you put it on the back burner and you don't get to it. Okay? So we're going to go over a couple of things today. I got 6 things on my list for you guys to note, and hopefully, this stuff can really help you as far as on your journey of getting in shape and, what to think about when you feel like you don't have the time to actually do what you need to do. All right. So number 1, you can always work out before or after work. Okay. If you have a job that requires you to go in at a certain time, I know it's tough going after work, but a lot of times though, that's just what it takes. You can't choose to have everything your way. You know what I mean? And so because you can't have everything your way, sometimes you have to suffer. And if you're the type of person who can, you don't like to wake up early and you don't like to work out before you go into work, then you have to work out after work. And if you're the type of person who doesn't like to work out after work because you're going to have a hard day at work and you just want to go lay down and go straight home and relax, then you have to work out before work, but you got to pick one or the other, and I think a lot of times, if you think about working out in the mornings, I'm not sure how early you go to work, but if you have a schedule where you probably can actually do it, but you just like to sleep and you enjoy time before going into work, then maybe consider using that time, wisely, and maybe, putting aside a little bit of time to actually do your workout in the morning and just try it. Sometimes it's hard to get up, but if you, go one day and then try and do another day, it can be possible. So don't worry about it. Okay. Recently, I know that getting up at a different time is possible because now I live on the West Coast and I've been getting up at 4 a.m. to match up with the 7 a.m. time for traders on the East Coast. And so it's been hard for me getting up at 4 a.m. and I've been tired all week, but I forced myself to do it. So I know if I can get up to sit here and get in front of the computer or do something else, I know you guys can get up to go to the gym and, or do your exercises right there, in home when you're available to. Okay. So before, I don't want to do anything else. So keep that in mind. All right. Hold on a second. Looks like my connection is unstable. Let's see. All right, we back. You guys hear me pretty good? All right. All right. Now, the second thing is you can squeeze it in during the day, but you have to make sure that it's a short workout and you're not doing any rests in between. Okay. So if you have time during the day and you only have a pocket of time, maybe 30 minutes or so, or a half, or, like an hour somewhere in between doing things, then you can squeeze it in. All right. Just make sure that you're on it and being boom, boom, boom. Finish this set next, so you can do your workout, squeeze it in and don't feel guilty because you don't think you have the time to do a sufficient workout. Something is better than nothing, and I've said this in my old videos before too, something is better than nothing, and just getting it done is better than being perfect, because trying to have a perfect workout, that's few and far in between, but just having a workout, you can always go back and back test what you did wrong a few days ago, or you'll be able to feel certain things and say, okay, this wasn't as efficient as, what I'm used to. So I'll do something different next time. But just doing it anyway is better, because once you get started, you'll be able to tap in, you know what I mean? And like, once you're able to tap back into what you need to be tapping into, it won't matter about if you did a good job or not, because you're in the moment, and you got to get in the moment to even feel anything. You know what I'm saying? So focus on trying just to tap in the first place. And once you tap in the first place and squeeze it in, then you'll be okay with whatever time it is. Like, you don't need an hour or 2 hours or, whatever. Like, if you can just get started, you'll know what you need to do within that time. Okay. So you can squeeze in during the day. Just try to keep your rest period short. All right. Now, the third thing is, this is what I don't want you to do. Do not work out throughout the day. I know some guys, y'all might be from the hood and you like to do push-ups all day long, or I'm going to do a clip of 40 here, I'm going to do 50 here, I'm going to do, X, Y, and Z all day long, and you end up doing 2,000 push-ups in a day. Like, this ain't prison, and there's more efficient ways of getting in shape. And so when you think about it, like, that muscle needs to tear down and it needs food to recover. If you start doing a set of push-ups now and then you tear those muscles down and then you wait for another hour, they're going to recover. And if you wait for another hour before you do some more push-ups, they're going to recover. And then you might do some more push-ups and they'll tear back down a little bit, but then they're going to recover. So they're going to keep tearing down and recovering versus tearing down the way you need them to and then eating your food to let them recover. And so your muscles are always going to be partially recovered by the time you do your next clip. And so, like, it's like taking a long rest period. So, like when you used to be in the gym and you sitting there and you might see somebody do a set and then they'll wait 15 minutes. You might as well start all the way over. You know what I mean? Like, you might as well start from scratch, because if you wait that long, like, you're fully recovered by that. Like, it takes when you're doing it one set, that's like a warm up. So you keep on tapping into your warm up zone. Like, you do a warm up, take a break for 15 minutes, warm up, break for 15 minutes. So all those push-ups were like warm up push-ups, and now it's just aerobics. And so instead of doing those aerobics throughout the day and think that's something, try to consolidate them all. All right. Which I'll get to in a second. All right. Just consolidate everything. Which is my number 4. Consolidate. Oh, and consolidate your week as well. Okay. But number 4 is consolidate your week, but consolidate all those push-ups into one. Okay. So if you're going to do your workout, for example, like I said earlier, in my second point, squeeze it all in and don't do any rest. Okay. So do all your work. You're going to do one thing and say, okay, I'm going to do, I don't have much time today, but I'm going to do my pull-ups today. Okay, everybody can do pull-ups. Or you're going to do some dips on the edge of a chair or something like that. Like, everybody can do their dips. Like, there's no reason you can't be knocking out your dips or your push-ups or your pull-ups if you have access to them, or at least your squats, like abs too. Like, there's multiple things you can do if you know you got a short period of time, right? So when you do have those short periods of time, maximize them and make sure that you're staying right in the moment and not like, taking long rest periods in between. So all those push-ups, if you did, 200 push-ups in that day, all day long, try to squeeze out 200 push-ups in 20 minutes and then come talk to me. All right. Now the next thing, number 4, consolidate your week. So for me, I've worked different jobs where either I've had to travel and be on the road for, weeks at a time and didn't have access to the gym. I've had jobs where I worked overnight shifts. I've had jobs where I worked just the weekends and was off on the weekdays. It just depends, you know what I mean? And now you see, I can't stand working because I don't have a technical job anymore, because that stuff doesn't work for me. But I've had jobs that's been like that. And so I've always been able to work out and do my, get my workout on in between, regardless of what type of career I've had, what type of position I was in at the moment. And so if you consolidate your week, which is what I do now. So I know some of you guys, you might have a schedule where, you might have to be busy in the earlier part of the week and then a little more free on the end part of the week. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is a little more available. And so if you consolidate your schedule and say, okay, I'm not going to work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but I'm going to go hard Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's enough. Because as long as you get those body parts in that week, that'll suffice. You don't need to have, you don't have to have 2 body parts a week or do 1 body part per day and you missed a day, so now you can't do something and they'll throw you all off. Like, just getting in there is okay. And if you can do, 3 body parts one day on that Friday, 3 body parts, Saturday, and then a couple body parts on Sunday, then you're good. You still did your whole workout for the week, so don't feel bad, okay? Consolidate your week and just move everything to where you can get them in back to back to back. And if it's better for you to wake up early just on the weekends, just do your wake up early on the weekends workout. You know what I mean? So it just depends, but you have to try to fit it in you have to want to fit it in for one, but it's possible. All right, the fifth thing is plan ahead so that you don't spend too much time thinking. And what happens is if you get into the gym and you actually find the time and you think you have the time, you may spend too much time planning. You know what I mean? Planning on, okay, what am I going to do now that I'm in here? Okay, like I only have 30 minutes, but what do I do now? And then once you start getting to that point, you just start grabbing stuff and doing miscellaneous things. That may not be as effective for you for getting to your goal, because yeah, you can say I worked out, but was it really a quality workout? And so if you spend your time planning and say, okay, I'm going to the gym, I'm going to do this for this time. If somebody's on this piece of equipment, I'm going to go here first. If somebody's over here, I'm going to go here first. Like, you got to really strategize in your mind what you're going to do when you have that short period of time, because, you don't have time to play or to wait on people or to, sacrifice your time to be like, well, I couldn't do this today because somebody was using the equipment and I just had to go. So whatever, like, that's the worst. And you also don't want to be bullying somebody. Hey, what time are you going to be done with this piece of equipment? Because that's the worst too. So try to find a time where you can do what you need to do, but also when you go in there, make sure that you have a good plan and you know exactly what you're going to do for that workout, the sets, the reps, and everything. And it's okay to just do 3 sets of something versus doing 4 sets of something. Like, mess with the numbers. You know what I mean? Do your same overall, but just mess with the numbers because it's possible. All right. And remember that you can get a lot of stuff done if you just focus. Like, my best workouts have come when I've just really been tapped in, which leads me to my last part, number 6. Here's the advice I have overall. And this is really for anybody who's getting in shape or who wants to get in shape. Here's my big brother advice to y'all. Like, all the other stuff is cool so that you can follow that stuff. Like, here's where I'm like, this is when I'm talking to you. I'll keep it funky with you for a second. What you got to do when you work out is, in your mind, you got to play a game of how hard can I go in this time? Like, I know I got X, Y, and Z time. What can I do that's going to be the maximum capacity of how can I really burn myself out? And what's going to be a great workout within this time bracket? And, like, even if you do have time, still do that. Still plan to go as hard as you can in a certain period of time, because what that does is it makes you focus, and you don't have time to be chopping up with people in there. You don't have time to be on your phone. You don't have time for certain things. You got to be somewhere by a certain time. And when you have that and you work out with that type of discipline, what you'll realize is that your body is going to respond in a way where you didn't even know you were working out good enough. You just knew that you went in there and went as hard as you could that day. And when I say as hard as you could, I mean like efficient workouts, to where the point is where you got sore a couple of days later from that little bit. And even though it felt like you didn't maybe do many exercises, you still had maybe 1 or 2 hardcore exercises that got you to the same point of soreness as maybe a couple exercises, or maybe 5 or 6 exercises may have gotten you, but you did it in a short period of time. And so plan all the time, like, play a game in your mind of how hard can I go in 15 minutes? How hard can I go in 20 minutes? How hard can I go in 30 minutes? Play like that. And then when you go into the gym, you'll start to see, okay, if I only had 30 minutes to work out and I had to have the toughest, hardest workout that I know was going to be fulfilling, what would I do? And then use that type of mindset every time you go into the gym. And when you have that, you'll start to see that, like, you're going to raise your bar higher and higher and higher. You know what I mean? And like, you might be like, oh, well, I know that last time I did this weight, but I had to do 15 sets of it, whatever. But this time, okay, well, if I use a heavier weight, then I don't have to do as many sets, and I can do, less reps, but I got to go heavy. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do, 4 sets of X, Y, and Z with real heavy weight, and I'll be in and out of there on that one piece of equipment. And maybe I know if I normally do 2 exercises for the same body part of my chest, I'll do, 1 for my upper, my incline chest. I'll do 1 decline workout, and then I'll leave my flat part alone and get to that later, and I'll do something else, and I'll move on to another part of my shoulders or another part of my, another exercise. And so keep that in mind, like, see how hard you can go in a certain amount of time, and you'll see that you probably can accomplish a lot more than you think you can. There's a quote that says, I think Elon Musk said something like, try to see how you can accomplish your 10-year goal in 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, you'll probably fail, but you'll get a lot closer than you think you would. But really, like, if you try to go in there and you try to accomplish a big goal in a couple minutes, like, don't be crazy, but you'll probably get a lot further than you think you would have if you didn't if you didn't have the confidence in yourself to do a workout for a short period of time. So just try your best. All right. All right. I hope you guys learned something today. And let me see. It's not too many questions today. We're keeping it short. Hopefully I can, I know I'm gonna catch this game now. KC, what's going on? All right. Snuggles, you said, what are my thoughts about fasting? That's a good question. You know, interestingly enough, I think I was on Instagram and somebody said something about fasting. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Mike Rashid. I do watch his channel sometimes. Like I will scroll past and see some stuff from these guys. And I really do like when they say, smart things. I'm not sure how fasting works for the body because like I'm not familiar with that to the degree of like, this is what your body needs for fasting. And if you fast, you'll feel like this. I don't know. But what I do know is that I fast quite often. Like not trying to fast, but I do fast, like, because I don't like to eat. And I'll find myself going maybe like a full day of only having a little bit of stuff. And when I do that, what I notice is like my move a lot better. I'll pee a lot more during that day. And like I feel like I've gotten everything out. And then the next day I'll be more rejuvenated and I'll look better, and it seems like I'll have lost weight, but for whatever reason, I'll fluctuate right back. And so I have to do some more research onto fasting because I don't want to sit here and act like I'm some type of fasting guru or nothing like that. But I do know that fasting does work. And what I do think about fasting is that sometimes if you know you're the type of person that doesn't eat clean all the time, then it's probably good to take a break, and then fast for a second, maybe just for a day, and then get back to it. Intermittent fasting, I guess, is probably cool too. Like all that stuff works, you know what I mean? Like, but that's doing it for a plan. Like I feel like I do stuff because it's natural, not because like I'm sticking to this and I got to eat this way. Like that gets complicated. But if you just know, okay, well, I ate crazy this day and now, it's one of those days I'm not really hungry, I wouldn't force myself to eat if I were you. Like if you just aren't hungry and you just aren't in the mood, like just don't eat and then let that be your fast and do that here and there versus saying, okay, I'm going to dedicate this Sunday to not eating anything. And then you're struggling like, oh, I can't believe I'm fasting today. This is the worst. Like, no, I don't do that, But if you're always hungry, you may need to have one of those days, but do your own research though. Okay. All right, Gerald Draymond, what's going on? Welcome back. He said, what are my thoughts on training fasted early in the morning, but eating meals afterwards when getting home? Also, how many rest days are recommended for a 3-day split? Well, hopefully you saw the beginning of this topic. I mean, the beginning of this video, because as far as like a 3-day split, it doesn't matter as far as rest days is concerned. You just make sure that you get all your muscle groups done in that week. You know what I mean? So if you have to work out just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, then, whatever, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is off. That's how I work out. So I don't have the time to work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I probably can squeeze in a Thursday, but most of the time I'm tired, so I'll do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I never work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Never. Like I don't have the time to. I can't go to the gym those days. And so I don't, you know what I mean? And then how many would you say, how do I feel about training fasted in the morning? Well, in my last video, I told you before, like if you lift on an empty stomach, you're not going to be as strong as you would have liked to have been. And so you got to have some food in your system to be able to be productive in the gym. Now, if you're doing cardio fasted, that's great. That's how you burn fat. But if you're lifting fasted too, then you're not burning fat, you're burning muscle because you needed some food in you. And what happens is when you go into the gym, if you don't have food in you, then the workout that you're going to do is going to be burning into the muscle and maybe some fat and stuff, but really you're not really burning. You want to be burning that food off and using that as energy. So you eat first, use that food as fuel to lift, especially when you're trying to grow. You want to be lifting on some food. You want to always have food in your system to grow. If you're trying to burn fat, maybe not so much. You can probably, maybe not eat as much and make sure you're doing your fasted cardio, but you still got to have food in your system, but you don't need to eat crazy. You just need to have food in your system because the fat burning is going to come when the muscle grows. And, as the muscle is growing, it's going to start eating away at your fat anyway. And when you're doing fasted cardio, you'll be burning fat there. So don't think that you have to also work out and lift. And as you're actively lifting, you're burning fat. That's not how it works. It's not when you're actively lifting. It's at rest. So once you're recovering and that muscle is growing, as it's recovering and you feed it food, that food, the fats, the proteins, all of that stuff is, your proteins, is all those things are going towards rebuilding those muscles. And so at that point, that fat is used as fuel or to get used as fuel in the morning when you're doing fasted cardio, but not fasted lifting. Okay. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something today. I can't wait to start making my regular videos again where I'm at. Can I get a chance? My prostate is good. My gallbladder is removed now. So now I got a gallstone, and I think my gallbladder has to be removed. So it's taking me a little bit longer to get back into making my videos like I need to, but hopefully I can do something real soon because I still look good. Like, you know what I mean? I'm back up. My weight is back up. I'm off from antibiotics, so I'm back up to 186 again. So I guess like another, 5-6 pounds or so, and I'll be back to normal. I'll be having my size back on so I can feel confident because I feel skinny right now. You know what I mean? I feel like I want to keep a hoodie on all the time, but once I get my meaty shoulders back and my meaty arms back and everything, I feel like so. Thank you for everybody. Thank you everybody for tuning in, watching my videos. Subscribe to my Instagram channel at Get Fit with. Hopefully you guys learned something in this video. And if you have, share it with somebody else. Feel free to leave the questions in my comments or on the videos and stuff. And I'll answer questions, and I will definitely try to make videos on them if it's available. And I do, hey, listen, I want to say one more thing too. Everybody who's watching, I really do appreciate y'all for watching me, because like when you give me comments on my channel, it's like, oh, you're one of the best influencers I've found, and I'm surprised your channel hasn't grown more. Like, I know what I got to do to grow my channel more. Like, I just have to do those things. But once I start feeling better, we'll be taking off, and then I'll be able to really campaign and show you my true personality. So be patient with me, but we're going to grow. You know what I'm saying? We're going to grow. I'm going to do this thing for everybody. All right. So I will see you guys next week. Same time, 6:45. Thanks for watching.